For large jobs, polishing fiber by machine saves time compared to hand polishing. This is a roll of aerospace-grade acrylic fiber. The higher the grade, the more light the fiber carries. The larger the fiber's diameter, or the fatter the fiber, the more light it carries. This fiber is as large as an acrylic fiber can be made without becoming rigid while still being of aerospace grade. It is the finest fiber available for lighting. Measure the length needed to go from the projector to the luminaire. If your fiber is too long, you can always trim it shorter as you install. Cut using an anvil cutter. The sharp knife makes a clean cut without pits or cracks. Cut on a 90-degree angle. If you get a bad cut, just trim it again. We are going to polish this fiber by machine. This is a variable speed bench grinder. On one side is a flapper wheel with 150 grit paper. On the other side is a cloth polishing wheel embedded with acrylic polishing compound. Always practice safety. Use safety glasses. Be careful with your hands. Always have a kill switch for using any type of machinery. Follow all of the instructions for safe operation supplied with the bench grinder. Hold the fiber tightly in your hand with about a ½ inch or what is safe extended. Use the flapper wheel. Grind the fiber in flat. Do not lean into the wheel. The wheel will sand the acrylic fiber by just touching it. You want to sand. If you push the fiber too hard against the wheel, you will melt the fiber. If you do, trim the end and start over. Check the fiber for cladding. All optical fiber has a thin covering on its outside. Sometimes in polishing, the cladding will break free as a flap on the outside edge of the fiber, like a thin little piece of paper. You want no cladding seen at the edge. The sanding should be smooth. Again, using the wheel to do the work and not pushing hard, let the buffing wheel polish the fiber. Rotate the fiber a little to get different angles on the edges, but keep the fiber perpendicular to the wheel. Inspect the fiber. It will naturally round on its edges, but you will note that the wheel has deposited some compound on the fiber's end. Use a clean cloth to clean the fiber. With a few strokes of a hand polishing buff using the polishing gray side, check the fiber. Does it look like a lens? Does it look like a drop of water? Polish the other end of the fiber the same way. With both ends polished, this fiber is ready to use. It will create a bright beam of light. Remember that if you make a mistake, cut the tip off the fiber and start over. Finally, polishing wheels need to be wet with lots of compound to work well. An older wheel like this needs to be refreshed with compound from time to time. But if you start with a new wheel, use ½ a stick of compound or more to make it wet. It needs to have compound embedded in the cloth to polish. For smaller jobs, see our video on hand polishing.